Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to the Do Big Symposium 2015-16 presented by Tata Docomo Business Services and powered by CNBC TV 18. Now we live in a digital age and this series provides a multi-city platform to bring on board decision makers and influencers to discuss digital opportunities and challenges in India.
Throughout this series, we've traveled the length and breadth of the country to meet with industry leaders to discuss an overarching theme, digital disruption, a CEO's agenda. Each of the Do Big Symposiums in Bangalore, Pune, Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad and Chennai witnessed inspiring talks by renowned business stalwarts and key Tata Teleservices representatives. Riveting panel discussions gave the audience a bird's eye view on the challenges, opportunities and the way forward with the implementation of technology across industries in India.
On this episode, we're taking a look at the first of our Do Big Symposiums in Bangalore and Pune. Now, kickstarting the Bangalore edition was Vinita Bali, the former Managing Director of Britannia Industries, with an inspiring keynote address, followed by the Product Head Managed Services, Tata Teleservices, Sai Pratyush.
So I'm speaking as a consumer of technology. I'm speaking as someone who had the opportunity to work and lead very large companies, not just in India, but across 5 continents and 6 cities where I have personally lived and worked. And I know that in the few years that I spent with Cadbury's in India, we moved from getting sales on telex to actually getting not just our primary sales, but also our secondary sales virtually real time. And if I were to look back at that time, and I look at the time now, and the data, the analytics, the granularity of information that is available, sometimes you have to say, is this granularity helping me make better decisions, or is it simply ending up confusing everybody? So the point I want to make is the CEO's agenda is business transformation. And if digital is an enabler in that transformation, it is an agenda which is extremely relevant. It is not the means, but it is the end. So, there are many things that cause a disruption. Consumer behavior causes a disruption. Now, some of us might say that technology induces a change in consumer behavior. E-commerce is getting people to buy very, very differently. So as a student of management, I'm really interested at what impact all of our technology intervention is going to create with the consumer. Because I can't think of one business anywhere in the world that can be successful without consumers choosing to not just prefer your product or your service or your idea or your concept, but also buy your product, your service, your idea, or your concept. So I do hope that you go away from this at least with the idea that technology is not disruptive. For technology to be a winner, it has to create business transformation. Technology has to be transformative and not disruptive. Thank you very much.
Greek philosopher had once said that the only thing constant in life is change. At Tata Docomo, we'd like to add our bit to it by saying, so is disruption. Well, what is disruption? If you look at the definition, a Harvard professor defines it as something that displaces an existing market, industry, technology, with something that is new, right? An important part, something that is new, something that is worthwhile, and something that changes the course of way the business is done. A whole host of industries today are facing some kind of risk because the tide has changed, there's something new, there's something that is, essentially disrupting the way they do business. Business models have also been redefined, if I can use that word. Let's look at how disruption has changed our lives as well, right? Each one of us today is in some way getting impacted by the technology advancements that have taken place or are taking place. There is a generation that is growing up that would never have seen an audio cassette player. In many ways, the customer is the reason why enterprises or businesses are adopting a digital strategy. It's allowing customers, enterprise customers, to be closer to their customers. It's allowing them to kind of figure out what customers want, what are they thinking about. A lot of innovation that is happening in this space is ultimately benefiting the customer, and it's allowing enterprises to connect better with their customers eventually. From our perspective at Tata Docomo, whether it's pure connectivity or it is the more complex IoT solutions, we would love to partner with our customers to provide solutions which are of an end-to-end state right across the value chain in a seamless manner. Thank you very much for it.
On the panel at the Bangalore Symposium were Ashwin Velodi, partner KPMG, Greg Moran, CEO Zoomcar, Ratan Kelkar, CEO E-Governance Government of Karnataka, and Vinita Bali, former MD Britannia Industries.
Ma'am, I'd like to start off with you. Now, in your keynote when you started the show, you spoke about the importance of not digital disruption but digital transformation. But in your experience, any other examples that you have seen that have made a change, where you've seen technology making a change in rural India?
Yeah, I think there is a lot of work that is happening in, take healthcare for example. There is work again in Rajasthan where, telehealth is a big thing, where you've not just got vans, but you've also got other places where you go. There is a nurse practitioner who has been trained to take the basics and then connect you with the doctor. So it's not that things are not happening. My point was that the requirements of rural India are so enormous that unless we are thinking about technology that is capable of being scaled and capable of creating a big impact, we will continue to solve problems in a small way in many places. But will it make the big difference that we want to see? I think that is the issue.
Yeah, definitely. To get into more people, to get into the numbers that are there. Dr. Kelkar, I want to reach out to you on this. So you're with the Center of E-Governance with the government of Karnataka, and there are a lot of initiatives that are being taken. How has the response been to these initiatives?
When you look at the way in which technologies have started to come in now, we have mobile, which has come into the hands of the people. So now technology has, like you've informed earlier, it has become disruptive. So this we see as an opportunity to ensure that the services which the governments deliver to the citizens is in a very transparent and in a very efficient way. So, but the pace at which things happen is not uniform, and the way in which the capacity is being built in the government is maybe not be happening at a very great pace, and the digital empowerment and literacy of the people is also not happening at a very great pace. So all this needs to come together to ensure that what has been put forth here, realizes in the next a few years. So this all have to happen hand in hand, which is quite a challenge.
Don't go anywhere as the panel discussion continues and we get a glimpse of the Pune Symposium when we return.
Ashwin, KPMG and IAMAI have done a study that said that India will reach 236 million mobile internet users by 2016 and 314 million by 2017.
Mobile and its access between the company and the customer is one of the fastest medium of change that is happening in India. It's one of the fastest. It's by large measure. It is going to be one of the only mechanisms by which extended India would get access to information, internet and commerce. Second is phone actually in order to get smart sometimes is really not that smart. It becomes intelligent once there is dialogue and the ability to communicate with a particular set of audience.
So the content.
Yes, the content is important, the transaction is important, and that's where disruption perhaps can happen, and hopefully companies are doing that.
Greg, I want to get you in on this because your company is one that is using mobiles extensively, creating some disruption, creating a conversation with users who are the people that, well, don't have a car but want to drive. How has been your experience here with Zoom Car?
And what we sort of really focused on are people, not only those who don't own a car, which, I mean, for us, the majority of our customers don't own a car, but we still have a fairly significant minority of customers that own a car or that own two cars. But you know, the beauty of the Indian market is that, of course, we have very large extended families living together in many instances. Oftentimes, you know, kids or guys around my age will still potentially live with parents. And so you'll have these large extended families where you'll have one or two cars, but you won't have that third, fourth, fifth car in many instances. And it doesn't make sense economically, and you know, space-wise, there's constraints. So that's really sort of keying in our customer base right there. To your point about mobiles, though, I mean, for us, very, very intrinsic to our operation and the customer experience. I mean, not only do the majority of our bookings take place on the app, but we also have a pretty unique approach to the interaction with, if you think about the phone and how that relates to your booking experience. And so
Again, I think the insight is, it is not the technology, it is how the technology is being used to serve the needs of a customer. And I think we can get very carried away by the technology and this app talking to that app and it's so convenient and so on. At the end of the day, you know, the customer has to see value in what you've done. And I think the smartness of what you've done is to identify a need, is to create a model which is simple to use and intelligently applied technology to it. So, you know, so it is the customer delight. Rather than the technology.
We don't have to bother much in the government because whatever government does is a delight to the customer. So anything we do on the mobile is definitely a welcome gesture.
Okay, great. On that note, I'm just about out of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for them? Thank you very much. From Bangalore, we travel to the city of Peshwas, Pune, which has fast blossomed into the tech capital of Maharashtra. Starting the evening on a high note was board member and executive director of Bharat Forge, Amit Kalyani, followed by the president enterprise Tata Teleservices, Pratik Pashine.
Good evening, everyone. There are things that get disrupted and things that just vanish. Xerox machines, fax machines, telex machines, all gone. Think of your industry and let's look at what disruptions we are seeing in it. You know, there are no more safe havens. There is no industry which is going to be an island which is safe from this disruption. Because your competition is not your traditional competition. Your competition could be a guy sitting in his dorm room who creates an app that completely takes over your business. One of the most important points in this whole digitization or digital disruption is radical integration. You're talking about products, processes, data, which all needs to get integrated. It means it's non-stop communication. First thing what this will do is it brings complete transparency, both hopefully within your organization and within your whole ecosystem, which means transparency to your suppliers and to your customers. It also brings new competitors from unexpected places. It brings huge pressure on price and margins because of the transparency. It creates new plug-and-play business models. It will create specialists who will focus on doing some very specialized skills in new ways. And one of the biggest opportunities for our companies is that a lot of our businesses have young people in them. Young people are very open to change, and we must actually bring these young people together to drive this change within our organizations. It's an unique opportunity for India to increase productivity to global benchmark levels at the lowest capital cost. And, you know, Industry 4.0 could make India a global leader in manufacturing and ensure its spot in digital manufacturing of the world. Thank you very much.
A very warm welcome to all of you. This is basically a platform to get industry leaders to talk about a topic, to discuss a topic which is relevant. And hopefully, at the end of the day, walk away with some clear nuggets of wisdom as Amit articulated, and clearly kind of go much more confident about facing those challenges back in your office. The history is replete with examples where if you don't anticipate changes, and as Amit said, competition is not the guy next door. Competition is not the guy who's in a similar business. Competition is more likely than not going to come from sector that you've never thought of. And they will disrupt your business by being nimble and by completely changing the cost-value equation as they launch new products. Digital technology, I think the biggest impact it will bring, be it operations, be it employees, is basically to deliver better, faster, more quality services to our customers. So Tata Docomo has been in this business, and as I said, we are getting a ringside view of what's happening around the digital space. That ringside view is visible with the kind of conversation that we're having with our customers. Earlier, we would typically talk to the CIO, the Chief Technology Officer, Chief Admin Officer, because what customers were truly looking for initially was connectivity. But today, I think there's an increasing realization amongst companies that I can truly change my business. I can truly solve my business problem, not my connectivity problem, not my IT problem, but I can solve my business problem through digital technologies. We're going to be in the midst of some exciting times, and we will see new innovations coming with the use of digital technology. With that, thank you very much.
On the panel at the Pune Symposium were Vikrant Fonske, MD Cosmos Bank, Vivek Srivastava, ED Technology Consulting PwC, Nihal Kulkarni, MD Kirloskar Engine Oil, and Prateek Pashine, President Enterprise Tata Teleservices Limited.
Nihal, I want to start with you. So you're with Kirloskar Engine Oils, B2B manufacturer, diesel gensets. But you have done some really interesting disruptive stuff at Kirloskar. So would you like to tell us about that?
I think the entire structure of the manufacturing space is going to change. All manufacturing companies are going to shift, whether they like it or not, from being purely a manufacturing company to being a data-driven company. I don't think that's an option anymore. I think, like he said, it's a matter of when and not if. So what we have done in Kirloskar Engines is that all of our gensets now have what are called IoT devices. This is a pretty significant disruption that is happening, and you can't stop an idea whose time has come, and I think that time has come.
Coming up is the captivating conclusion of the Pune panel discussion and a glimpse at how technology was used to increase crowd interaction at the event. Stay tuned.
Prateek, when people come to you, how do you advise them? Because there's so much information. How can they, narrow down on, okay, this is what I need to focus on at the moment. This is where I need to apply digital disruption to help improve my business.
You need to have understanding of the customer's business, and you need to know what his problems are and then translate. I think when you go with a solution which solves his problem, rather than trying to push a solution because you have it, chances are you get a better bite from the customer that way.
Vivek, I want to talk to you. What's the trend that you're seeing in the field with cloud? What is the feedback you're getting from companies? Are they more open?
If you see what's happening to these big platform vendors itself, is they are transforming or they are getting disrupted by this entire concept of cloud, right? And the concept of cloud is making people understand that the cost of storage is going down, and it bodes very well for you to look outside your industry for innovation.
You're in the sector where there is a lot of digital disruption happening today. What's the next step at Cosmos? How are you using digital?
So it has the basic thought process has completely undergone a sea change. I mean, at times people ask me, Vikrant, are you running a bank or are you running an RT company? To that extent it has come. But I think that's the need of hour, because unless we change the way we want to do business, and unless we start looking at the instant gratification that the customer is looking for, we are just going to be disrupted and out of business. So to be the fittest, we definitely need to evolve, again, going back to the basic principles.
Okay. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for that. Thank you so much. A huge round of applause for our panel, please.
The use of technology was embraced at all the symposiums to encourage interaction amongst guests. A special Do Big mobile app was created for guests to download and use for participation in live polling. Each city had a set of questions to vote on, and the varied results were intriguing. Let's take a look. In Bangalore, the first question asked was, what is the biggest challenge you believe organizations face while going digital? And the options were security, skill set, connectivity, device application ecosystem. The second question, what do you think is the most important reason for adopting digital strategies? And the options were cost reduction, better management, growth of business. The final question was, does your organization have a digital strategy in place? Yes or no? The majority said yes. And in Pune, the first question was, for your industry, the impact of the digital adoption will be radical, moderate, minimal, can't say. The next question, what is the primary driver for you to adopt digital? Operational efficiency, customer experience, managing workforce, can't say. And the final question, what is the biggest challenge you believe organizations face while going digital? Security, legacy systems and processes, skill sets, customer adoption, can't say.
Well, that's all on this episode of the Do Big Symposium 2015-16, presented by Tata Docomo Business Services and powered by CNBC TV 18. But join us next time as we travel to Kolkata and the national capital. Until then, from the entire team, many thanks for watching.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.